judge will decide later this month if a man accused of killing Bardstown mother Crystal Rogers will be tried separately. Brooks Houck, the former boyfriend of Crystal Rogers, faced a judge in Nelson County yesterday. Now, Houck is the main suspect in the case, along with two others, father and son Steve and Joseph Lawson.
Jim Stratman has the details from court here, and Jim, Houck's attorney says that a joint trial wouldn't be fair.
No, it really would handicap the defense and what they're trying to say, in that Steve Lawson lied to investigators. They say without having separate trials, they would be able to call Lawson to the stand during Houck's defense. Now, the defense claims that Kentucky State Police fed Lawson a narrative over time that Houck killed Rogers. Houck's attorney, Brian Butler, told the judge that during an interview with an FBI informant back in 2020, Lawson had one version of the story.
In a second recording with this confidential informant in 2020, Steve Lawson said, "I don't think Brooks had anything to do with it."
But as the years went on, Lawson spoke with investigators more. Butler says the detectives would redirect Lawson when his story wouldn't match theirs.
The problem with this is the court knows. The detectives in their minds have decided what they believe the truth is. They say it in their interviews. We're not supposed to feed you stuff. They know better than this.
The defense played more than an hour's worth of interrogation footage in court yesterday, but the prosecution says when it comes to the trial, they won't be using any of that footage. Butler argues that if the cases are tried together, Lawson won't be called to testify, and that means that Houck's team wouldn't be able to cross-examine him and reveal the alleged police interrogation tactics. Now, the judge said that he's going to deliberate on this and come back with a ruling at the next court date set for later on this month. Coming up in the next half hour, I'm going to dive into the three big reasons that the prosecution believes the Lawsons and Houck should be tried together. Eric, Grace?
All right, Jim, thank you. Now, the location of the trial did not come up in court. The attorneys previously agreed on Christian County, but the judge didn't approve the choice, saying he wasn't sold on security for the jurors. Attorneys tell us the judge isn't ruling it out, but has asked for some other options. The trial is slated for next year. The other suspects in this case will make a court appearance before that. Joseph Lawson due back July 18th for a status conference. Then August 8th, Steve Lawson is expected to clarify for the judge if he wants to use or exclude interviews he did with police.
The Hardin County woman accused of killing a woman here in Louisville is expected to appear in court for the first time today. Metro Police arrested 32-year-old Stephanie Hill of Vine Grove yesterday on several charges, including murder and robbery. They say around 2 yesterday morning, Hill shot a woman at what appears to be the Overlook Apartments on Glimmer Way. That's near Fairdale. The woman died at the scene. As of now, her identity has not been released. Arrest documents show 9 hours after the shooting, officers found Hill at a Circle K less than a mile away with the victim's cell phone. They say she admitted to being the only person with the victim at the time of the shooting. Hill is due in court at 9 o'clock this morning.
An LMPD detective has pleaded not guilty after allegedly crashing his unmarked cruiser while off duty in Bullitt County. Detective Timothy Davis faced a judge for the first time yesterday. Court records show Davis told officers the crash happened around 1 a.m. But video later obtained by police, you see it there, shows the incident happened several hours earlier. At the time of the crash, Davis was asked if he'd been drinking. He said no, but a breath test showed a BAC of 0.09. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, at any BAC above 0.08, a person is considered legally impaired. Davis is facing several charges, including criminal mischief, leaving the scene of an accident, and tampering with physical evidence. He's still on paid administrative leave and will be back in court on August 8th.
Over the holiday weekend, 2 women were killed by hit-and-run drivers in separate incidents. The first happened Saturday night in the Russell neighborhood, the other Sunday night in Old Louisville. The first victim has been identified as 26-year-old Desiree Marshall. Her family says she was hit and killed while they were just standing outside lighting fireworks. They say it happened in a blink of an eye.
And a car came through, he hit her, she flipped a couple times in the air, she hit the ground, and he kept going, didn't stop at all. And I ran over there to her, I rubbed on her back, I told her it was gonna be okay, and then I went to get my mom.
They say the car that hit Desiree is a white 4-door with heavy black tint. The LMPD says it could possibly be a Mazda. The identity of the second woman hit and killed has not been released, but some who live in Old Louisville say where her body was found, they say they're concerned for the number of pedestrians that are just out and about in that neighborhood.
They will speed down here. I see people turning down the street going the wrong way at least once a day.
Now, there are no suspects in either of these cases. If you have any information, call 574-LMPD or use the online portal to leave an anonymous tip.
New search warrants recently released in the case against former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll show he did not stop spending money after being arrested. Indiana State Police investigators say in the 5 months after his initial arrest, Knoll spent more than $50,000. Documents lay out about $35,000 charged to a Utica Township Fire Association credit card, the money spent on Uber rides, Cincinnati Reds tickets, even dinners at a Japanese grill. On a separate Sam's Club credit card tied to the fire department, investigators say Knoll spent more than $15,000 at places including El Nepal and Meyer. Knoll is charged with more than 30 felonies and still remains in jail.
8 minutes after 6 now, Dare to Care is going to host a pop-up food pantry today for people impacted by the 4th of July tornado. That one touched down in the Parkland neighborhood in West Louisville. The pantry itself is going to open at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Dare to Care Community Kitchen, which is on South 28th Street. Dare to Care did not say, though, exactly when it'll close, but we know it'll offer food, including fresh produce, and it hopes to connect impacted families with future support.